Hi and welcome. My name is Rich Pasini. Today is April 20th, 2020. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. Hope you like the content and come back for more. Today I want to do the reseller news. I got some windows opened up, so let's get right to it. Okay, before we get started, I just want to let everybody know that I do not read everything verbatim. I will give you the URLs where I got the information from, and the rest is up to you if you like to pick up where I left off. The first story is going to be here from e-commerce bytes, so it's www.ecommercebytes.com. This story was posted April 17, 2020, and it goes on to say the title over here is eBay advises sellers of USPS priority mail delivery delays. It says eBay said it would update its estimated delivery times that are shown in the listings in light of the newly announced USPS mail delays. As we reported in the U.S. Postal Service, extended its service commitment by a day. USPS priority mail 2- and 3-day service commitments now will be extended to 3 to 4 days respectively. USPS first class package service will be from 2 and 3 day service commitments will also be extended by 3 or 4 days respectively. So it goes on here, say, just to reading a little more into this here, you guys could pick up, that's why I said where I left off, that's why I was giving you URLs. It says, eBay reassured sellers writing, we will be updating our estimated delivery times were needed to accurately reflect the changes, this change by the USPS. Throughout the COVID pandemic, we have maintained a steady communication with the United States Postal Service and will continue to use all the information to display reliable delivery information to your buyers. eBay calculates estimated delivery dates using a number of factors, including sellers' handling time, shipping service used, and payment clearance. If you want to read more into this here, folks, please do. And I also, that's another thing I want to just stress really quick. Please go directly to the websites because they have active hyperlinks. This particular website, you'll always know the active hyperlinks, and I should say in the body of the story here, it will be color blue. That's all active hyperlinks, and you also have them on the right side as well. As you can see my mouse cursor move around, these are all active hyperlinks in case you want to read a little more about that specific topic or story. Okay, we're going to move right along to the next one. Another story that pertains to shipping. This story came out again April 17, 2020. It says domestic shipping disruptions now a reality for sellers. My move mouse cursor over here. There we go. It goes on to say domestic shipping disruptions are now a reality for the online sellers who have already faced international mail disruptions. The USPS is warning delivery delays for certain priority mail and first-class packages services. It's also surprising to learn which international posts are limiting items mailed to the United States. USPS warns delivery delays, including the priority mail. Now, I already talked about that in the first one we just went to, so I'm not going to repeat it again. Please, if you get a chance, go, like I said again, please go directly to the website itself, and you could read more into this here. I'm going to move along because, like I said, I do have some windows, quite a few windows open up, and I want to try to keep this as short as possible. Okay, this next story is from April 17, 2020. It's when buyers abuse returns, eBay sellers pay a hefty price. It goes on to say here, eBay slaps on an extra 5% penalty fee for sellers who don't meet its minimum seller performance standards. The seller said chronic bad buyers are to blame for much of the defects that lead to the penalty fees, and explains why he thinks it's a lose-lose proposition for eBay itself. It goes on to say here, Dear Ina, I have an eBay issue I wanted to send a letter about that had really been grating me for the past few months. The issue is I have is with eBay's policy on increasing final value fees due to high service metrics, defective rates for return, open for what they deem a seller-caused reason. It goes on to say specifically those reasons can be 1, missing parts or pieces, 2, arrived damage, 3, not working or defective, 4, wrong item, 5, doesn't match the description or a photo, or 6, not authentic. Now, if you break these down, you go basically one by one. This is what I always say when it comes to being very definitive in your description when you're doing your product description. Always be thorough when it comes to stuff like that. I say this many times in my videos. And a lot of other times I've talked about this in other cases with people returning items and stuff. When you're describing an item and you're picking something up, you know, like whatever it may be, if it's a printer, like for example, I like to sell printers here. Let me just fix this for a second. I like to sell printers. I will go over them with a fine-tooth comb. Basically, I will look them over when they're in the thrift stores. I haven't been in thrift stores now because, as you know, a lot of places are closed due to the pandemic crisis here. And I would look those things up and down all around in the thrift store. I mean, people would go walk by and say, what is this guy doing here? I'm taking the drawers out. I'm testing it out, making sure it prints. I even asked the guys in the back there, hey, you got any paper? I want to do a test. I want to do a test run on these printers. And I make sure I look over them with a fine-tooth comb. So seriously, even though they're pre-owned. I make sure there's nothing missing there. If there's any scratches or things, depending how how bad the condition is, the body itself, that will all be noted in the description. Now, again, if you're selling, here's another thing I said, another rule of thumb. When it comes to puzzles, okay, here's the things I wouldn't recommend people buy. This is my personal take on it. Some people may beg to differ. One, I don't sell used puzzles or board games, okay, unless they're brand spanking new. Unless they come around there, you know, they got the plastic wrapping around them. I am not going to buy any puzzles or board games. Simple reason is I don't have the time in a thrift store to go, verbatim, looking at all the pieces. Like, for example, suppose you bought a Monopoly game. You know all the little pieces, the hotels, the houses, and so on and so forth, the cards and all that. I'm not going to go through them there and count them all out. I don't have the time for it, and I'm not going to sit there in the middle of the floor or go on the table and start counting piece by piece. And the same thing with puzzles. You buy a 2,000 piece puzzle, a 1,500 piece puzzle. You're not going to sit there and count. I know I'm not. There are people, though. I do see people on eBay buying those type of items, and they put them up. Now, whether they count them piece by piece, that's a whole other story. But I don't. Now, that's what I'm talking about with the missing parts or pieces. If you want to avoid that part, don't buy open board games and open puzzles, because, yes, you will get a reason like that, missing parts or pieces, okay? As far as like arriving damaged, that could be the seller's problem, because the seller probably didn't package it properly. When you're selling things, when I'm selling a printer, I make sure that thing is well packed, okay? I pack it upside down, front sides, top, bottom sides, all four corners, and I'm double packing. In some cases, I'll even use a double boxed, and depending on how fragile the thing may be. But I always want to, my saying is, I want to make sure the item gets there in one piece, not in pieces. So if you're going to do this here, if you are a seasoned seller, well, then this doesn't really apply to you. If you are a newbie thinking about selling this here, these are the things you're going to be dealing with. So take heed to what I'm saying here. You don't want the item to arrive damaged. So even if it's going to cost you a little extra, make sure, with packing material and stuff like that, make sure you do your best, because you don't want these items to get to the buyer in bad shape, because it's not gonna look good for you, and you're gonna get a ding on your account, because if it gets there damaged because it's poorly packaged, it's gonna reflect on your seller performance. So you don't want that to happen. Not working or defective. If it's an item that's not working, put it in your description. Item or for parts not working. That's what eBay has as far as like choices, like to what you're going to sell. If it's going to be seller refurbished, new with new other, whatever, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's got a drop down menu. If it's an item that is it's not a working item, put there for parts not working. Put it in your title and in the body, okay? Because I had it one time. I was selling something. I don't remember what it was. The buyer, I had it in the title and I had in the body. I had it there to read. And the buyer, when they got the item, they said, oh, geez, I didn't read the description. I don't remember what it was. It was way back when. And I said to myself, well, I did a video actually about that, about buyers not reading the descriptions. And it drives me crazy. And not only that, it's been bothering other people too. I've been on other blog sites where people were complaining because they're saying, the buyers ain't reading the descriptions. You're putting these descriptions out there, and they're not reading them. And then what happens is they get them, and they'll put in there, item is not as described or not working, okay? Be careful. So that's the one for not working or defective. And if it is a defective one, you're not going to sell a defective one. Now, if you're going to sell some, I've had printers where I ended up having good printers. I never bought printers that were for parts not working. However, I have done my due diligence to pack a printer up. 1A condition, worked, tested, everything was good. I send it out to the buyer. The buyer decides he didn't want it, sends it back, doesn't properly package it. The thing now is broken. So what do I got to do? I got to make something off it. So I put it in there. I put a description there. I throw it back up on eBay. Now instead of a working printer, I had to put for parts not working. Okay, that's what happens. But and you got to be, try to be very definitive with your listing. Let people know what's going on. Don't sit there try to hide it. Or sometimes people, they'll forget. They'll forget the thing. They'll say, well, it slipped my mind. I didn't think about it. But you got to be careful with this stuff here. Doesn't match description or photo. Now, I don't know how that could happen. I mean, if you're taking a picture of that item and it's going out, and that's what the person's buying, I don't know what they're referring to. Unless it's a switch off. Let's say I'm selling an HP 7520 printer and they end up getting what do we got over here? The HP LaserJet P25DN. Unless you switch the wrong pictures in there with the wrong description, I could see that happening. But that's very unlikely to happen, folks. But this is, I guess, what the reasons are. I think this is the reasons that people are putting in there. And again, not authentic. Now, again, if you're going to sell high-end, I just want to expand a little on that topic, and then we're going to move on to the next one. If you are going to sell Gucci pocketbooks, like let's say you're a woman that wants to sell Gucci high-end Gucci pocketbooks, Prada, and stuff like that, eBay has a thing where it's where they authenticate to make sure it's not a knockoff. And you could send it in there. They have it. I think I did a video way back when. I don't remember when. It's probably in the midst of all these videos. You could look into that there. Protect yourself, folks. Okay, make sure you protect yourself on that, because you want to make sure not authenticate. If it's not authentic, again, you're going to have a ding on your account, and it's if there's something that eBay sees that doesn't look right, they will remove it. They will remove the item from you. Seriously. How I know this here, because my daughter gave me a little purse, and it was like a handheld one, and I think it was a Gucci, and it had the numbers on there and everything, and to me it looked authentic. I don't know, I'm not an expert on it. It was a little thing like that. I put it up there, and eBay, they seen it and they took it down, and they said this can't be sold. It's I don't know if it's if you want to relist it, you could send it in to get authenticated. I don't know how they knew if it was a knockoff or not. I didn't know. I didn't notice it. So anyway, I took it off and I just got rid of it. But they will pick up on that stuff. So please be careful, okay? So make sure if you're selling any high-end pocketbooks like that there, brand names, I'm talking the pocketbooks part, you could send it into eBay and they will authenticate it. I don't remember if there was a charge for it or not. That they have to read up on it. If I find it, if I have the link in there, if I get the information, I'll drop a link below if I don't forget doing this video. But please be careful with that. I don't want to expand too much on this here, folks. That's why I gave you the URL. Please, take this information I give you and use it to your advantage, okay? I'm trying to help out here. All I could do is share what I know and share the information with you guys. That's why I don't mind doing this here. I don't mind taking time out of my busy day to share this. I want to see you guys be successful, and I want to see you, hopefully you'll get good sales by the information I put out. I want to see you guys succeed is what I'm saying. So that's why I don't mind doing this reseller news and putting this information out there. But the most important thing, the most important takeaway is exactly it. That's it. That you get a takeaway from it. That's the most important thing to me doing this YouTube channel. I want to help people out, and like I said, if I could help out by sharing free information, and if I bring things to your attention, maybe it's something you weren't aware of. When I do the reseller news, there's times I don't pick up on this stuff here until I actually do it. It's something I say, I didn't know that happened, whatever, it's a learning phase for both of us. So that's why if you are new to my YouTube channel, as a new subscriber, I just want to say welcome again. I do hope you get a takeaway from it. And if you are visiting for the first time, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day, busy day, to check out my videos. But anyway, like I said again, folks, I don't read the whole things verbatim. I do, however, recommend you do, like I said earlier, go into the website itself. That's why I gave you URLs. And at the bottom, if you get a chance, read the comments, because sometimes, these are people that are buyers and sellers just like you and I, and they bring out pretty good information here. Sometimes they'll bring things out that you and I might not be aware of. So please check out and go to the comment section below. I'm not going to go all the way down. There's quite a bit here. I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm sorry I'm rambling on, but I just want to share that information with you guys. All right, let's move to the next window here. Look at this one here. This is something I didn't know what to see. I got these Google alerts this morning. It goes on to say here, this story came out April 17, 2020. It says eBay sued by its own collection agency. Wow, can't make this stuff up. It goes on to say eBay was sued by its own collection agency on Friday. eBay hired IC System Inc. to go after delinquent accounts, but it claims eBay provided inaccurate customer data that got into it. It's a legal trouble. Okay. Wow. It goes on to say eBay, according to IC Systems' legal complaint, it pursued an account based on information provided by eBay who was found not to be an eBay customer at all, who turned around and sued it. Interesting. You could read the rest of this here, folks, because it's got all that little stuff in there and all the little particulars, but that's interesting. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm looking at this one here. It says, "Snad, back at you." Oh, jeez. Anyway, you got to read the comments, folks. I mean, I love reading the comments when I go to these sites, especially e-commerce sites. They got some pretty good information they put out there. Well, the people do anyway. And plus, it's a good site. It really is a good site. Let's move to the next one here. This one goes on to say here, this one came out April 16, 2020. It says, "Seller says Etsy disbursements are delayed in UK." Now, for you Etsy sellers, you might want to listen to this. It goes on to say, "Dear Ina, don't know if you could help, but I am an Etsy seller in the UK, and many of us have not received our deposits due on Monday, April 13th. Etsy no longer answers the phone and not responding to email messages. Given we are small sellers during this pandemic, we are reliant on this money. Our banks are saying that they have not received notification of the deposits due through Etsy and apparently blaming the banks. We don't know what to do. I hope you could help, Susan." Well, I don't know. Like I said, in regards to that there, again, this is something I don't know. Here's the thing. Just so you see this real quick. I am a registered seller on Amazon and Etsy, but I am not selling on them. Right now, my main selling platform is eBay. I mean, to be honest with you, as far as that part. Now, there is cross-selling involved with Bonanza, but if you look at Bonanza and eBay, Bonanza, if people think eBay's slow, Bonanza is really slow. Nice platform, but I really never got too many sales for them. And I'm also on Poshmark as well. So yes, do I do cross-selling on here? Yes. But my number one go-to site is eBay. That's my number one site. Okay. I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm saying if you guys are selling if you're active sellers on Etsy, well, this is delayed in the UK, but for the others, well, this YouTube goes all around the world. So, I mean, this may be of help to you. If somebody here is a subscriber that is in the UK, you may find this information helpful to you, especially if you're an Etsy seller. All right, let's move right along. Good news. All right, this came out April 18, 2020. It says good news and bad news for Amazon FBA sellers. Okay, so for all you Amazon FBA sellers, listen up. This might be of help to you. Well, you may want to know what's going on. It says hampered from sending items to Amazon fulfillment centers to sell through FBA program. The good news is Amazon said it continues to ease restrictions on what it will accept after clamping down in the mid-March non-essential goods due to the coronavirus outbreak. The bad news, Amazon is limiting the quantity of those products it will allow sellers to send. Again, check it out. I'm just looking over here, I'm really scanning real quick. I'm looking at the hyperlink over here, the blue one. It says Amazon has stopped accepting sellers' inbound shipments on March 17th. Yeah, again, that's why I tell you guys, please go to the website and you could read more into this here. All right, one more window with this particular company, and then I want to share something really quick with you. This one here is another Amazon story. It says, this one came out April 16, 2020. Would you buy health insurance through Amazon? Interesting. I didn't know they had something like this, but let's read a little into it. It goes on to say, Amazon sent a survey to sellers gauging their interest in health insurance plans, according to Vox. The survey reportedly did not discuss a specific Amazon health insurance offering, but the survey ended by Amazon telling merchants it would keep them informed as it explores how Amazon may be able to support your needs better. And it goes on to say it is not unprecedented for an online marketplace to think about health insurance needs of its sellers. In fact, eBay tried offering plans to power sellers in 2002 under then the CEO Meg Whitman, but the plans that eventually launched in 2003 proved unpopular and faded away. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen with Amazon. We'll see what happens. Like I said again, that's pretty good if they want to offer health insurance to their sellers. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to back out of this one right here. So stick around, and we're going to go back to the other two here. Okay, the last part of this deals with Amazon. But what I want to share with you guys really quick, and we're going to go back to the window again, because I want to show you two windows over there that are Amazon related. I picked this up off of Reddit, and I want to know what you guys think about it, if you got any feedback on it. This is from Reddit. It's the fulfillment by Amazon. I guess Amazon has a Reddit group there, whatever. I mean, a group on Reddit. And it goes on to say here, and I'm not going to mention a person. This is not the Hall of Shame. This is, I'm not here to shame people. I'm just here to throw a little snippet out there and see what you guys think. It goes on to say, can I send back a similar, cheaper item in place of an expensive one to get a refund? All right, so here's the story. That's the title. That's like they're just throwing a word out there, right? It says, hey, so I am new and I bought an item for $170. I have a similar item at home already. And I was wondering if I could return the cheaper item I have already have and say they gave me the completely wrong item and get a full refund. All right, and it goes on here. It's from a third-party seller. What do you guys think? It goes back and forth here. I'll read some of the feedback. Will it work well, it goes over here. Will work if it's fulfilled by Amazon. If it's dispatched by a third party, I wouldn't recommend. Then the person writes back, it was filled by Amazon, but was purchased through a third party. Can I get caught with a fraudulent item and get in some kind of a trouble? If so, what kind of trouble? Worse, you'll pay a fine or go to jail. Listen, it's stuff like this that make it bad for other people. And this is why Amazon is going to eventually crack down on stuff like this here. And if you don't believe me, we're going to go to some windows. I'm going to bump out of the screen, go back again, and then I'm going to show you those two websites there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's go to those windows. Okay, now this is right off of Amazon's site. It's from Seller Central. You can see right up here. It's an open forum. It's nothing being hidden here. I'm not sharing stuff I'm not supposed to. It's open forum. It goes on to say, buyer returned a different item. And it goes over here, buyer returned a broken or different item. Serial number does not match. Then I reported the buyer to Amazon and did not refund and asked the buyer to return the correct item. It's almost similar to what that story was talking about. Then it goes, for sure, I got an A to Z claim. Then I represented to Amazon with the pitches. Amazon contacted the buyer today. I got a message from the buyer and said he returned the wrong item and asked for another prepaid return shipping label. Now I have these questions. One, I already gave them a prepaid return shipping label once, but got broken and swapped the item. It does not sound fair to me to give another prepaid shipping label. I think the buyer should pay for the return shipping in this time. Can I just tell them to pay the return shipping themselves? Two, can I ask Amazon to close the AZ claim in favor of me because the buyer admitted he returned the wrong item? Thanks. Now somebody writes back on there. Again, this is their like eBay has their eBay community chat. This is basically like almost like their thing here. You got general selling questions. You could log in here, become a seller, whatever, and so on. So somebody writes back and says, Send the buyer another prepaid label and then deduct the cost of the final refund for all the shipping charges you incurred on return, and apply a restocking fee once you receive the item. Do not refund anything until you see the condition of the return. And I honestly not sure what you should do with the A to Z claim. Now, I don't know what the A to Z claim is because like I said again, I never got to that part of Amazon. Okay, like I said, I mean, my go-to one is eBay. It goes over here. Other than quoting the message, the buyer stating your intentions concerning the second prepaid label. And then it goes on. They got a couple other ones. This guy's he wrote a local one over here. I'm not going to read all that there. And then again, you could see this is an ongoing issue apparently because it's on another. There's two different ones here. As you can see here, this is the buyer returned a different item. This one here, customer returned again. This is from, I guess, the same thing. Seller Central. Customer returned different item, what was shipped to them. Okay, and basically, look, it's almost the same type of story, just like the one I just read to you. But you see, here's the problem, folks. When you have situations like this here, because of things of this nature, this is what causes a problem for other sellers, honest sellers. Okay, and if it's one thing, I can understand. Well, here's how I look at it. If I bought something, and I already had this happen to me, all right, I'm not going to say it was something the buyer was trying to get over on me. Let me bump out this one. I'll tell you what I'm referring to. Okay, a while back, I'd sold Keurig coffee maker. I think it was the model K10 or B31. I don't know. It was one of those models. Anyway, I'm not saying this is a new thing that buyers are coming in with. They're not conjuring up these things like, hey, this sounds like a good idea, let's beat the price or whatever, game. But anyway, so the buyer buys it. I had it for best offer. All my listings have best offer on them for the most part. And so the buyer makes a best offer. I accept it. Buyer, gets the item. I went through that there. I said, well, thank you very much I always send an invoice out saying thank you very much for shopping RJ Pasini, and so on and so forth, whatever. So they get the item. Maybe 3 or 4 days later, I get an email from them, or from through eBay, saying, I'd like to return this item. No, actually, they opened up a return item. Yes, matter of fact, they opened a return item, and then I'm looking, saying return item. I said, wait a minute, I just sent that thing out a couple days ago. They put 2 reasons why they want to return it. One, I seen it. If I quite remember, it said one said I seen it. The first one was I seen this here for a cheaper price, and then they sent another one. They put another part of it on another part of the. I don't know if they sent me 2 of them. I think they sent me 2 notifications, and then they sent me the second one. Said I seen it for a better price or something like that, or I can get it cheaper. So I'm thinking the buyer is trying to bait me into. When I mean bait, I mean throw a little fish out there, like a little bait on the hook there, see if you get a fish. What I'm trying to say is, I think what they were hoping for was that I was going to say, well, I could beat that price. Now, mind you, I accepted their best offer. I thought it was a good price for this Keurig machine. It was pretty brand new, and I accepted it. And I thought, being they made that best offer, I thought they were very happy with that price. But apparently not. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying you're saying, well, if people buy stuff from you, well, you never want to. No, look, I have an open return policy. I don't give nobody a hard time. If you bought something from me and you didn't like it, for whatever reason, and you gave me that reason you want to send it back, please do. That's why I offer 30-day money-back guarantee, right? So I think what the buyer was trying to do there, I think the mindset of them was waiting for me to counter offer. In other words, come up and say, listen, you're seeing it for a cheaper price. What's your final offer? What would you offer me for this year? I guess they wanted me to go back and forth with it and see, well, I don't know what they're going to say. Well, give it to me for $20. I mean, I had it for 30, okay? And I accepted 27 or something like that, 26 or 27. And I accepted it. And I thought, well, they made the offer. They must like it. So they opened up a return item case, and I called up eBay and I let them know I want to find out. This is before all this here. You have phone support now. You got to go through email, whatever. And I called them. I said, listen, what happens in a case like this? A buyer is openly admitting that there's nothing wrong with the unit, but they want to return it because they got it they could see it for a better price. And she told me, she goes, I go, in a case like that, am I going to be held liable? Do I get to pay return shipment if they send it back? Her exact words were, no, you don't have to, because she didn't give any viable reasons. Now, eBay usually has it. Item not as described, or defective, not working, or something like that there. Those are like usually the two reasons, and they didn't put neither or. And I told her, and she read the email. I said, the message that came to me, and the eBay teammate read it, and she says, no, you're in the right. I go, you sure? Because I go, I don't think it's fair to have to pay return shipment because she's seeing for a better price. She should pay for it. She goes, no. If it comes back, she goes, she's going to get a full refund, but she's going to pay the return shipping cost on it. So you'll be okay with that. I said, all right, that's no problem. I said, that's fair. I said, as long as they pay the return shipping, I'll take it back. So after I confirmed with the teammate, I checked with them, right? I went back, I wrote her, I messaged her back. I said, please send it back and you'll get your full refund, whatever. eBay, I think back then, we gave you so many days for the buyer to return it. And the buyer had a return, but she opened the return request. Nothing ever moved. Like if you ever had a return request, let's say return, and then it'll say shipped, and it'll say delivered, or something like that there. It was always in the return status. In other words, she started it. It says the return was started. And that's the way it was. It was like that for almost 2 weeks, something like that. And I kept checking. I said, oh boy, here we go. When this comes back, I got to resell it again, And never came back. So I'm not saying that's a new tactic. That's the first time it happened to me where a buyer was trying to tell me something like that. And I think the mindset behind it, think about this, folks, for a second. If you tell a seller that there, hey, I seen a thing cheaper or whatever, can I want to return. I have no problem with it. I didn't counter because I thought the price I offered her was good enough. Now, if I was really desperate, I could have came back and said, can I get 20 for it? Would 20 be good? But I said to myself, I think it's like, to me, it didn't make sense to me. If she wanted that cheaper, she should have just told me right from the get-go, and I would have either said yay or nay. I would have either declined it or I would have countered. But she didn't say that to me. So, needless to say, she never sent it back, and that was the end of that story. The case was closed. So, again, I'm not saying these things are unlikely to happen. If you're going to be if you're a seasoned seller, maybe you might have had experience like that. Or if you are new to eBay or thinking about selling on eBay, you may experience something of that nature. Now, how you handle it is totally up to you. If you want to, say, well, I'll work with the buyer, I'll counter. That's totally up to you. I couldn't go any lower for it. I don't get those things cheap. Matter of fact, if you look at my listings now on my eBay listings, I have a couple of them. I just dropped the price. They were $59.99. I dropped them to $39.99. I don't know if I'm going to drop them down to $29.99, but I really want to move these Keurigs out. So, if you guys check them out there, you could always go to my eBay listings. Just go with my eBay user ID in case you want to look me up on eBay. It's shop-rjpasini-4-great-deals. Check it out. And as I say sometimes in my other videos, before you even buy from me, or if you're thinking about buying from me, read the feedback first. Read the feedback first, see what other buyers are saying about my service, and then if you decide you want to buy something, buy it. I want you guys to get a feel of how they feel about my service. I'm straight shooter with the stuff. I tell it like it is, as far as my descriptions on the items I'm selling. If it's got scratches, dings, dents, or whatever on them, I will note it in my description. Okay, it will be noted. All right. I very rarely had any problem where something went sight unseen. If there's a part missing off an item, I will make sure it's listed in there. If there's, like I said, scratches or the thing's in poor condition, if it's being sold for parts not working or whatever, it will be noted in description. Okay, but if you ever do check me out, which I hope you do check out my listings on eBay, I only got 113 listings on there. I mean, you might find something you like. Please check out my feedback score first. Just for curiosity, maybe read out maybe 5 or 10 of them, whatever you feel you want to read. Well, I'm not going to think you're going to read them all, but see what other buyers have to say about my service, and then you decide for yourself. I will work with my buyers. You guys are my number one. As far as my buyers and stuff, well, so my subscribers are number one as well. But no, my buyers I take very seriously, and I will bend over backwards to make a good deal for you guys. All right, that's what my thing is. It's shop RJ Pasini for great deals. So I hope you guys will take me up on the offer. If you do see the stuff I have, it may not be for you. So if I don't, if you're not interested in anything, then you're not interested. But if you get a chance, check it out. All right, listen. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I hope it's not too long. I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you want to drop a comment below, let me know what you think about that there, about people doing stuff like this here. It's not right. I mean, me personally, to do what that person's saying about sending a cheaper item back or one that's similar to it, whatever, and hopefully get a full refund, I don't think it's right, folks. It's not right. And you can see with those websites I showed you, it's not fair. It's not a fair game, but it is what it is. These things are going to happen out there. The only thing I will say, if you're going to sell on eBay, be upfront and honest in your descriptions. Be very definitive with the stuff you're putting out there. And again, I always do when I write my descriptions, depending how big the item is, I will look at it, give it the once over, and maybe even a twice over, depending what it is, and I will make sure that everything that's noted on that, or let's say that particular item, I will make sure everything on that the condition of that item is in my description. Okay, if it's got flaws in it, it's poor condition or whatever, I will put it in there. I make sure it is. And let me tell you something. When it comes to putting wording in the description, it's never too much, because it keeps you, the potential buyer, ahead of of what you're getting from me. That's very important to me, folks. That's what kind of like built Amazon up. He's all pride and prone to create good service for his customers. That's the way I feel my customers as well. People who buy from me, I pride that there. I really do. You guys, my buyers mean a lot to me. They're number one. Okay, and I want them to be happy with me, and when they purchase and stuff. But anyway, let me end this video. I hope you got a little takeaway from it. You got some information out of it. And again, if you are first time visiting, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day to check out my video here. I do hope you get a takeaway from it. And again, for the new subscribers who subscribe to my channel, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to check it as well. And welcome to my channel, to all the new subscribers. The more the merrier. I really would love to get this channel monetized one day. I'm hoping, I'm going to keep putting out good content on this channel as well. I'm going to do the best I can, and when I get the information handed down to me, I will share with you guys. So if you do like this video or any of my videos, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be updated as to when I post out new videos, please hit that bell notification icon. My name is Rich Pasini. Today is April 20th, 2020. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm wishing you all the best in sales. Until next time, bye-bye for now.